Dear friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we are going to discuss the International Oil Pollution Compensation Fund. First, we will discuss the fund's overview. The International Oil Pollution Compensation Fund provides financial compensation for oil pollution damage that occurs in member states resulting from spills of persistent oil from tankers. First, we will discuss what is persistent oil. Persistent oils break up and dissipate more slowly in the marine environment and usually require a cleanup operation. Persistent oils typically include crude oils, fuel oils, lubricating oils, and heavier grades of marine diesel oils. History of the IOPC funds. The history of the IOPC funds began with the oil spill from the Torrey Canyon, which ran aground near the Scilly Isles in 1967, fouling UK and French coastlines. This incident exposed a number of serious shortcomings, in particular, the absence of an international agreement on liability and compensation in the event of such a spill. It led the international community to establish, under the auspices of the International Maritime Organization, a regime for compensation for victims of oil pollution. The framework for the regime was the 1969 International Convention on Civil Liability for Oil Pollution Damage. 1969 Civil Liability Convention and the 1971 International Convention on the Establishment of an International Fund for Compensation for Oil Pollution, 1971 Fund Convention. Over time, it became clear that the amount of compensation available for major incidents needed to be increased and the scope of the regime widened. This resulted in two further instruments known as the 1992 Civil Liability Convention and the 1992 Fund Convention. Following the Erika and Prestige incidents, a third instrument, the Protocol to the 1992 Fund Convention, Supplementary Fund Protocol, was adopted in 2003, providing additional compensation over and above that available under the 1992 Fund Convention for pollution damage in the states that become parties to the protocol. 1992 Civil Liability Convention. The 1992 Civil Liability Convention 1992 CLC governs the liability of ship owners for oil pollution damage. Under this convention, the registered ship owner has strict liability for pollution damage caused by the escape or discharge of persistent oil from this ship. This means that he is liable even in the absence of fault on his part. Ship owner is exempt from liability only if he proves that the damage resulted from an act of war, hostilities, civil war, insurrections, or a natural phenomena of an exceptional, inevitable, and irresistible character, or the damage was wholly caused by an act or omission done with the intent to cause damage by a third party, or the damage was wholly caused by the negligence or other wrongful act of any government or other authority responsible for the maintenance of lights or other navigational aids in the exercise of that function. Limitation of liability. The ship owner is normally entitled to limit his liability to an amount determined by the size of the ship as set out in the following table. Ship's tonnage. Ship not exceeding 5,000 units of gross tonnage. CLC limit 45 lakhs 10,000 SDR. Ship between 5,000 and 1 lakh 40,000 units of gross tonnage. CLC limit 45 lakhs 10,000 SDR plus 631 SDR for each additional unit of tonnage. Ship 1,50,000 units of gross tonnage or over. CLC limits 8 crores 97 lakhs 70,000 SDR. Insurance coverage for ships carrying more than 2,000 tons of oil as cargo in bulk. The ship owner is obliged to maintain insurance to cover his liability under the 1992 CLC, and claimants have a right of direct action against the insurer. Any claims for pollution damage under the 1992 CLC can be made only against the registered owner of the ship concerned. This does not, in principle, preclude victims from claiming compensation outside the conventions from persons other than the ship owner. However, the 1992 CLC prohibits claims against the servants or agents of the ship owner, the members of the crew, the pilot, the charterer, including a bareboat charterer, manager, or operator of the ship, or any person carrying out salvage operations or taking preventive measures, unless the pollution damage resulted from the personal act or omission of the person concerned, committed with the intent to cause such damage or recklessly and with knowledge that such damage would probably result. The unit of the account in the convention is the special drawing rights as defined by the International Monetary Fund.